Okay, in this video, we're going to look at a technique that will allow you to hand your coding agent highly specific context. Why is this important? Well, primarily it prevents AI slop. And the other key thing is that it will align the outcome of your personal software project much closer to what you envisage. So this is all rooted in Matt Pocock's skills, and this one is specifically looking at a process in the Wayfinder skill. This is not a deep dive into Wayfinder. I'm just wanting to look at a very specific part of this and show you what the prototype does. Prototype is part of the Wayfinder process. Well, it can be part of the Wayfinder process. So quickly, let's have a look at what the Wayfinder is. You have a starting idea, and you have a destination. So you have an idea, and this is where you want to go. This is what you think that the outcome should be, but you don't quite know how you're going to get there. So you run the Wayfinder skill, and what the Wayfinder skill does, it creates a set of it creates a Wayfinder map in GitHub. And then it creates a series of child tickets that relate to that map. And within those child tickets, there are certain processes that can run. The most common one is a grilling session. And what a grilling session does is it asks you questions about your project, what you're wanting to do and how, and you answer those questions. And what that results in is a shared understanding. So you have a confirmed understanding that you both have, the agent and yourself. And then that then gets processed into, in my case, a development plan, which includes a phased checklist. So let's look at that, what that can look. So this is a development plan for a LinkedIn module that I was plugging into my content generation machine, and here is the progress or the phase checklist, and this is the development process broken up into chunks, and each chunk is worked through one at a time. And I use sub-agents for this. So in each of my projects, I have specialist sub-agents that iterate through, and I have an implementation engineer that does the coding, and then there's a senior code reviewer that actually reviews the code. And each phase needs to be passed off by the code reviewer before the next phase can continue. And this is a way of making sure that the code is clean early on in the project, and then consistent throughout the development process. One thing that Matt Pocock recently introduced into his Wayfinder, which is the prototype skill. And what that does is it actually generates what it is, a prototype. And in this particular instance, in Codex, what happened was that a work tree was created. So there is the work tree, and it's a development environment that Codex then deployed the prototype that we can actually go and have a look at. This is the prototype running, and what this particular little map is doing, I have this content engine, and what it does is it publishes an improved article to my Drupal site. Now the Drupal site is being retired, and there's a new site that's going to be a Next.js site, which is under development. Well, it is up, and this prototype is transitioning the handoff of the article that's going to be approved before it gets published. And we have 3 visuals, fully interactive environments that show us exactly what each does, how it works, what it looks like, what's the information that it contains. And actually what we could do is we could iterate. So we could now go back and say, I like the progress, the graphical progress tracker from phase 1, but I like the way the table is in phase in B, and for C I like the fact that things are hidden and it's a much more efficient interface. And that I could then give to the coding agent, and it would iterate and give another option that we could then approve. In essence, what's happening is at the end of the day, you're giving your coding agent very specific context about what you want through the prototype skill. And I think this is brilliant. I'm really enjoying Matt Pocock's skills. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate. Please subscribe. And if you want to know more, click the link below and let's have a chat. For now, thanks for watching. Cheers.